Good evening, audience. Welcome to the Pro Unitate podcast, as usual, hosted by USOSA and TNN, the New Nigerian. It's a podcast that's been on now. I think this is our 29th episode. We are humbled and honored to have a very special guest here. He is the current president. Should we say global president? I've learned that now. The global president of the FGC Enugu Old Students Association. We have with us engineer Nnadozie Eze. He is a seasoned engineering professional with over 23 years of extensive experience spanning project management, JV partner engagement, financial stewardship, portfolio and business planning, stakeholder management, digital transformation, cross-functional leadership, team integration, and change management across local and international environments. He currently serves as a well operations team lead at Renaissance Africa Energy Company Limited, where he champions continuous performance improvement in end-to-end project planning and execution. Engineer Eze is a registered engineer with the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria and a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. You're welcome to the Pro Unitate podcast. If I've missed anything out, kindly fill us and the audience in. Thank you, Dozie.
Thank you very much, Dave, and thank you for having me here. Thank you, Chairman. So basically, you didn't miss anything. So.
Oh no, he did miss something, and that's the reason why we are here. Thank you, everybody. Yes, he is a global president of FGC Enugu class of 1993. Please, what house were you in, so that we will make sure that you actually went to that school?
So the way you presented it, it was more or less like I'm the president of FGC Enugu class of 93. Or maybe you say I'm the global president of the FGC Enugu Alumni Association. Basically, we were used to, or popularly known as FGC OSA, but the name of the association is All Federal Government College Enugu Ex-Students Association. Yeah. So yes, I'm class of 93. I was in Honesty House, the only house that is named in the school anthem.
All right, yeah. Thank you very much. Good evening, our dear viewers. Thank you, USOSANs. We're back at it again, like David had mentioned. It is our, maybe 29th or 39th?
29th episode.
Podcast, yeah. But we've been on this. Yes, and the whole idea. Okay, let me apologize that my camera is off. For some reason, technology is denying you my face today, so I am sorry. I do not know what's happened, but my voice surely you would recognize. Thank you for joining us today. I am Choma Aniwe, Publicity Secretary, USOSA. David, it's been an honor having this podcast with you and having people tell their USOSA stories from the hostel to the boardroom, or as an engineer that is with us today, to the wells, to the people that he manages. So thank you, Engineer Nnadozie, for joining us today.
Thank you.
My first question would always be, what is the impact FGC Enugu? What is that one thing that FGC Enugu, what is that influence like that happened that FGC Enugu that is helping seasoned professional that you are today? That would be my first question for you.
Yeah, thanks, Choma. And whenever you mention or I remember FGC Enugu, I mean, it comes clearly to me, the frame of me being in that hostel, surviving through thick and thin, through the various hurdles that, of course, when you hear people that went to school, the period I went to school, sometimes you actually cringe, like, how did people survive in school, right? But it taught me that despite the hurdles, you still had to do what you needed to do, which is what we define as success severally, right? So when you get to, I mean, in my JS1, we were in a secluded community. Then from JS2, of course, to SS3, you were together with everyone. You had to succeed together. You had to prepare for inspections together. You had to prepare and execute your plans for inter-house sports together. Everything you had to do together, whether you were in JS1, JS2, JS3, SS1, SS2, SS3, there was a common goal, right? And that's where I got to appreciate the value in collaboration and networking, right? So you had to negotiate your way to success, always. Whether it was preparing for weekly inspections, which happened in the weekends, or maybe you had corporal punishments that you had to do maybe together with your housemates or your classmate mates. You were always negotiating your way to success. And getting to where I am today, I mean, you have to deal with people from multi-cultural backgrounds, right? And different societies where people, of course, grew and, of course, formed the people they are. So you find out that the way you think might not be the way other people think, right? But whether they think like you or they don't think like you, you have to succeed with them and through them. And my experiences back there in Federal Government College, Enugu, made me understand clearly, right, that you will never, most times, have everyone thinking like you, behaving like you, or having the same kind of ideals like you, right? But you have to succeed with them. I mean, back in school days, you had people from the north, from the south, from the west, from the east, from outside Nigeria, right? People that didn't used to talk like you, people that don't behave like you. In fact, sometimes when you hear some people's stories, you're like, where have I been all this while? Because you felt that life would only be seen through your own lens. When you hear other people talk and you're like, really? So people actually went through these experiences. And then you begin to understand the reason why they do what they do, right? And then understand how to relate better with them, right? And how to pass across information or messages or ideals to them. And that's exactly how I also carry out my day-to-day responsibilities till today, right? So that gave me that background that, look, people will not always think like you, but you have to succeed with them and through them. Yeah.
That's very interesting because for people who don't know you, let me give another brief description of you. Engineer Dozie Eze is known for his intentional leadership style and passion for people development. Based on what he was saying there, you can tell where he started to learn about leadership, where he started to gather information and process to be able to be the leader that he is now. He has mentored emerging professionals within the energy industry, built high-performing execution teams, and fostered cultures rooted in accountability, collaboration, innovation, and operational excellence. I guess this will lead to my USOSA question. As a member of the Unity School's All Students Association, while also leading the federal government college Enugu All Students Association. You can correct me on that. How do you define the ideal relationship between both organizations?
I mean, both organizations have the last three letters the same, OSA, right? So maybe you start from there. But clearly, there is no USOSA without the various OSAs. I always tell people that, right? If you, for any reason, destroy any OSA, you have weakened the USOSA, right? And that's why the USOSA would always tell you, we are better, we are stronger together, right? So it is now the, will I call it, part of the remit of USOSA to make sure that all OSAs are strengthened and get stronger by the day. Because that way, the USOSA's ideals are reinforced and people understand in clear terms what USOSA really means to them and to the society at large, right? So we can see USOSA as Nigeria, right? And then you see the various OSAs as the states. If the states do not succeed, Nigeria will not succeed, right? Exactly the same thing about USOSA and FGC OSA, right? So basically, we have that symbiotic relationship, right? Whatever we do as FGC OSA benefits USOSA. Whatever USOSA champions benefits FGC OSA. And the more USOSA champions programs that will, one way or the other, strengthen not just the associations, but also the membership that make up those associations, then it means that USOSA will continue moving forward, right? Well, for any reason, just like the Englishman will say, the strength of a chain is in the weakest link, right? So if for any reason some OSAs are not as strong and not pulling the weight and moving forward, then it means USOSA will keep running around in circles. So FGC OSA, you're getting strong. It also means that other OSAs have to get strong, maybe by learning from the experiences of FGC OSA and other OSAs and OGAs, right? And that way, USOSA will continue pushing, those positive ideals, and Nigeria will be better for it, yeah.
So OSA stand for, sorry, Chairman, I'll cede the floor to you in a moment. OSAs stand for the federal government colleges, while OGAs stands for the federal government girls colleges, right? Right. So does it, before I hand over to Chioma, let me ask, you are known to be strongly protective of your association's independence. Yeah. Why is maintaining the autonomy and unique identity of the FGC Enugu All Students Association so important to you?
Yeah, everything has to do with structure, right? And governance, clearly. So if you don't get governance and structure right, you don't have an association, right? And it is that structure and the governance processes that will guarantee continuity. And remember what I said, if the OSAs get stronger, the USOSA gets stronger. And it is governance processes and that structure that will guarantee and also reinforce the strengthening of the various alumni associations. So if you say, I'm so protective, yes, that can be describing that behavior. But I would like to call it, I am more or less passionate around making sure that the FGC Alumni Association continues to thrive. So something I'm really passionate about is continuous improvement. And for any reason you don't document processes, for any reason you don't have structures that stand the test of time, there is no continuity. And how people, the Igbo man will say the truth test of good leadership is that there is continuity in leadership, in good leadership.
Right.
So clearly that's the reason why you say I'm protective or passionate about making sure that FGC OSA ideals are protected. So it's about governance and continuity. Okay.
Chioma.
Thank you, David. And I'm actually glad that you took that question before where I was going to, because I was going to talk about structure. I was going to take him back to leadership, given what he has done for his association. So I heard a few days ago or sometime last week, you said that you were rounding up. Tell us how far where you met your association, how
I think
you have put them through, or what are they for? Because that's where we test the. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you have to repeat that question. I think I have a slight.
David, why did you lose me? Why did you lose me?
So you were talking of him rounding up. That's where.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. You start from him rounding up.
You took us back. So a few like last week or 2 weeks ago, I heard him say that he was about to round up with his tenure. So it will be a thing of joy, should I say, to hear his achievement, where he met his association and what he has achieved in these years. I don't know, and also tell us how many years you've served.
Okay, Claire. So I got into the role, that was May 2021. That was just after the COVID shutdowns and all. And this was an association that was coming out from an era where everything was done face-to-face physically, to grappling with the new normal, which is working remotely and doing things remotely, right? So we had just the president and the leadership team that handed over to my leadership team in 2021 had just instituted a new governance process where AGMs and elections are done through, we call it a delegate conference, like an electoral college, because prior to that time, everybody could vote and AGMs were done at our ground zero, which is Enugu. So it means anybody that can muster more support in and around Enugu will win the election. One way or the other. But this was now saying, look, level playing ground for everyone is an electoral college. Every class set has the same number of delegates, kind of. So that you won't say, oh, because this class set has more people in Enugu, then anybody this class set supports will win, right? So I began to look at it to say, this is very, very intelligent, coming from a place where this is all we knew. AGMs in Enugu, election in Enugu, to having a delegate conference. And it struck my mind to say, look, the things that move us forward in an association, in any community or society, lie within us. Are we ready to bite the bullet and do what we need to do? Even if it is very unpopular to do, because of course at that time it will be unpopular, right? So we took over, like I said, in May 2021, and I had to begin to understand the various structures within the association, what makes the association tick, what is it that people want to see, right? The improvements they want to feel, and also what is the next step for the association. Because you can say the change that we saw is something that was unprecedented. Let's just stabilize. And that's exactly what we did. So from 2021, and by the way, 2021 to 2026 is 5 years. So I'm going to be handing over in about 2 weeks from now.
Oh, wow.
To the new executive committee, new president. Of course, the new president, the incoming president is a lady. And I'll still talk about that. So we came in 2021, basically stabilized what the prior ESCO had done. Because again, the prior ESCO also was strong on creating governance structures that will stand the test of time. So we also were coming from a place where alumni were basically doing everything, infrastructural development in the schools. And one way or the other, the schools were not maintaining that. So alumni were saying, no, we don't want to do that again, right? But how do you balance that with making sure that the environment is conducive for the students? Reason why and that was more or less something that drove various developmental strides and projects within the school from 2021 till date, is you can as well just keep a blind eye to the plight of the students and say, it's government's responsibility. But every year, a new batch of those students become your alumni members. And if they were not developed properly, then it's only a ticking time bomb waiting to explode in the alumni association, because very soon they will be the leaders of the alumni association. So why not start from day one to provide them with the opportunity to learn properly and also understand what they need to do to become successful in life, right? And so that's why we now said, okay, fine, yes, Federal Ministry of Education should do this and do that, but we will not keep a blind eye to their developmental needs. And so we continued championing, making sure that the relationship with the school management was top-notch. Where we saw gaps, we, through our various networks and also through frequent communication, try to close those gaps. And from 2021 to 2025, we've seen where things like speech and prize giving ceremonies that one way or the other, I think as around 2021 or thereabout, it did not happen. The last time it happened was, I think, 2019. COVID caused a gap. And after that gap, there was a law. We had to push and say, no, we have to make students understand and reinforce learning and understand that, look, success has rewards, right? And when you see people being celebrated, the next time others will want to come up. And we focused on making sure that from that 2022, we continued having the speech and prize giving ceremonies, and it kept getting bigger. The prizes and number of prizes kept increasing. We also made sure that basic needs of students like water. I mean, people that know Enugu very well, you always hear is a perennial water challenge. The prior ESCO had liaised with a private company, Total Energies, to construct a solar-powered water borehole facility with treatment plant in the school, which was commissioned in 2022. That project over time, I mean, whenever there's dry season, the water level drops and then struggle to get some water. So we collaborated with the school management to construct another borehole. In fact, resuscitate the old one because it packed up, and then construct another one, which hopefully within the next 2 weeks will be commissioned. So that was it. Another one was making sure that there was adequate security within the school. A federal government college, Enugu, for many people that don't know, has land size that's even bigger than the size of some universities, some federal universities in Nigeria. And then you see that some of those places, you don't have security around it. So, but we, together with the school management team, made sure, and also the host community, made sure that at least students are safe when they are in school. Also, what we found out was that the school was getting overpopulated, where you have upwards of 60, 70 students in one class, especially in the junior schools. These classes were not made for more than 40 persons, right? So together with the school management, that basically has been resolved. So we started making sure that the school population kind of reflects the facilities the school has. Also making sure that the various classrooms are conducive, renovations happening together with various class sets, chapters, and interest groups. Was something we are also still working with the school management team, which has improved now lately, is how do you maintain these facilities that have been handed over to you? Because yes, there's a depth of infrastructure development in those schools, but even when you have support in people giving you new ones or even refurbishing old ones, your responsibility is to make sure that those things remain maintained so that at least the school will continue to benefit from the value that those projects bring. Right. So right now it has gotten better. So I will say we continued from where the last administration stopped, and where we are now is that we've also tried to strengthen the alumni association. Several areas where there were no alumni chapters, we have alumni chapters now. There are more sets ready to contribute to the bottom line. Right. So everybody is more interested, have growing interest, let me put it that way, of our alumni community members to at least put in value, especially to where they came from, their roots, and also make sure that when the members are churned out, especially after the higher institution, that we continue those collaborative strides to also make sure that people that have been trained to deliver value to the system get avenues to not just realize that value, but also develop themselves for the society at large. So, I mean, in a nutshell, that's where we have pushed the association to.
So technically,
my camera is not allowing me to see that I'm actually clapping for him.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, David.
Yeah,
David, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well done, President Dizzy.
Thank you.
Technically, you've used your leadership skills and your continuous improvement desires to take what you had when you became president and improved it to where you're going to hand over now, and will probably emphasize to the incoming president that they need to continue from where you stopped. A breaking continuity always, how will I explain it now? Once there's a break, it means you have to start all over again. So like Chioma said, well done. A big well done
Thank
to
you.
you. Let's leave USOSA for a minute. Let's delve into your personal experiences. You have over 23 years of experience across project management, well operations, digital transformations, and stakeholder engagements. What leadership principles have consistently guided your professional journey in the energy industry?
Yeah, nobody's stupid. That's what I found out. That you are a young engineer today does not mean you cannot be a general manager in the future. Right. So I remember clearly when I got into into the profession. So I'm a drilling professional, core drilling professional. And in drilling, they use a lot of acronyms and abbreviations. And the first day, I listened to a drilling broadcast. We call it morning meeting. I just asked myself, are you sure you will survive in this environment? That's why I asked, because I was lost, clearly. But what I remember clearly is that 6 months down the line, I was giving reports the same way I had it 6 months before. And as far as I was concerned, I did not know when that shift happened. And it made me understand that as long as you're given the right environment, you will always thrive. Learning will happen, right? And that's more or less like that learner mindset, to understand that nobody is a fool, nobody is stupid. Just give them the right environment and they will grow. So what it then taught me was that everybody is important in a community, in a circle, in a society. Never write off anyone. And if you give those people the opportunity and you coach them properly, you mentor them adequately, you'll find out that they will turn out, the people that you seemingly thought were stupid or didn't know anything, will turn out to be your best members or components of that environment. And I've seen that happen severally. So it now made me understand that all everyone needs is learning. How do I facilitate that learning, right? How do I make it happen more efficiently? And that's what leadership is about, clearly. Make sure that at every point in time, you promote that learning environment, because that's what you owe people that you lead at any point in time, whether it's in the alumni association, whether it's a political leader that you are, a community leader. What you owe people is to create the learning environment for them. Something I always tell people about work, and which I have seen happen severally. I mean, when you see someone complain, oh, they don't appreciate me at work, oh, they are not doing this, they are not doing that. I now tell you, do you understand that work is defined as an avenue to learn while being paid? You know, where somebody is teaching you and paying you. That's work. Because many of us, how did we develop our CVs? Right? How did we develop our resumes? Is it not because someone gave you the opportunity to work and I was paying you for that? And then you now say, I'm a professional in this. People like me say, I'm a professional in this, I prefer that. If I did not get the opportunity for work, will I have that experience? Right? Mm-hmm. So I also found out that the way that process is enhanced is the quality of leaders that you have around you and also mentors. So my responsibility, what I owe people in my team or people in my place of work, is to ensure that at every point in time, there is no lull in learning for them. Whenever you feel, oh, this person has gained all the knowledge in this area, then give the person a new challenge, right? Recommend the person to go somewhere else to open up the person's learning scope again, and also grow that horizon for the person. So that's the key leadership nugget that I have received, and I try to pass across to as many people who are really willing to listen and take it. Yeah.
What you have just espoused is the value we were looking for in this conversation. I propose just the answer alone. You can play it on your leaving the presidency day, with the audience quiet, with everybody listening. That is value. Usosans, our audience, please listen to that again. If you didn't grasp it when he was espousing it, go back, play that part again, and you will realize that there's so much value and wisdom in what Engineer Dozie just said. So again, I will thank you for answering that question like you did. Chioma?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Honestly, when we do this podcast, it's always very unpredictable. You ask one question and the person comes on with everything that you should have asked. So thank you very much for that answer, like David said. And I hope that our viewers are able to take home young persons, people in leadership. This is actually the value that we have taken this evening from President Dozier's speech. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Very much.
Let me ask. So your tenure incidentally coincides with the current President General Michael Magaji's tenure. I have witnessed and I have seen the improvement he has made to the USOSA Association in education, in technology. So how have you been able to work with him to key into these two important innovations that he has developed?
Yeah, so you're very correct. PG, I knew him when he was VPG. Became PG. So I was president when he was VPG, and I've watched him over time. He's remained consistent, and he's a I call it a chronic proponent of governance structures and processes. He's honest, develop the governance processes and make it work. PG doesn't like to hear things like, oh, this person was elected and is just there, staying. There's no tenure, nothing. How? Why would you do that? And I share those kind of ideas with him. Clearly, the way education happens is making sure there is a process or structure that will not just reinforce it, that kind of education, but that will propagate that kind of education. And that's what he has done over time. It's not just, oh, I want this to happen, I want it to happen like this. But no, create a structure that would ensure that those things will continue to happen even after he's left office. And I'm sure he's a very happy man now that we beat his chest and say, okay, yes, I understand that people have grasped this mentality and ideology, right? And that is what you need to propagate those kind of ideals. So education, technology, I'm a total proponent of those two. Currently, very soon, we will be doing a groundbreaking for an innovation hub in Federal Government College Enugu, sponsored by the Alumni Association. It is something that we've been thinking of. In fact, is the project we adopted at our golden anniversary reunion in 2023. That was 3 years ago, thereabouts. And now we want to bring it to reality because we understand that technology is everything right now, and it is the future. So we are trying to position Federal Government College Enugu, and not just Federal Government College Enugu, but that whole eastern sub-region, and of course, by direct implication, Nigeria, for what is lying ahead and coming before us in the coming years, right? So that will happen, and that's because we believe that technology is everything, and technology is education. So if you get it right in technology, you get it right in education, and maybe that's where myself and PG, Mike Magaji, share a lot of ideas. Yeah.
Perfect. Chioma? I think Chioma is muted.
Yeah, she is.
She is. All right. If Choma is engaged, maybe she's having network problems again. This is where you get to ask about USOSA, where you would like USOSA to be, what you think, or how you think USOSA has done. You can ask Chioma so she can answer you about where USOSA is.
David, why else is that I asked him what's next? I hope when he steps aside as the president, he's not going to run away from USOSA. There's still service for everyone. So what's next?
I don't think there is actually a break time when it comes to service to humanity. Because the only time you take a break from service to humanity is maybe when you die or leave this world. But there's always an avenue to contribute your quota to the development of the area that made you who you are. So that's why I believe. So obviously, my arms are open, of course, first to the Alumni Association of FGC Enugu, and of course, also to USOSA. So somehow I'm still in the leadership circle in FGC Enugu Alumni Association. And something I wanted to also mention is it's interesting to note that FGC Enugu is a mixed school. And for every mixed school, one way or the other, you find out that you have more male than female. I don't know how it happens that way. Maybe the females prefer to go to the all-girls schools, right? But interestingly, Federal Government College Enugu Alumni Association incoming ESCO has more women than men.
Wow.
In fact, more than 60% are women.
Fantastic.
And this is the first time it has ever happened. So it's something I'm proud of to make everybody understand that it's not always the men that can do it better, even if it's a male-dominated school, right? But there are people that will always do well. All you need to do is give them the opportunity to serve. And that's my mantra for service. Do not look down on anyone. I mean, before I became president, maybe you'll never believe I can be president of the association. And from what I know, anybody can be president as long as you groom that person properly and guide the person correctly. Right? So in terms of service, I'm available both for FGC, OSA, and also service to USOSA. I'm available. God help me.
Chioma.
Thank you very much, President Nandeze. It's been a great time hanging out with you today, and I'm glad we did it. It's been hard to catch you, so I'm glad we finally caught you. I just want to encourage every USOSAN to visit us at our YouTube channels, TNN and USOSA, Unity Schools All Students Association. There's so much to learn. So, website and our YouTube channels will be scrolling on the screen.
Absolutely.
So that you can pay us a visit. David, over to you, please.
Dozie, we can't do the podcast without asking about the backbone behind the man, Dozie Eze. We know you're married. We know you have children as well. Please tell us about the family. How do you guys share time? What activities, and how Madam has been a strong influence in your life?
Well, great. Thank you for that. Obviously, there's no me without my family. My wife, Dr. Chiazokame Eze, also is an USOSAN. 1999 set FGC Owerri.
Wow.
She's a medical doctor and has a PhD in public health. So she's obviously the backbone of the person you see here today. And I celebrate her through this medium. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do so. And our lovely kids, Somto, Adanna, and Ugonna. So two boys and a girl, all lovely, and give me, that reason to always smile. Because it's always fun to share time with them and watch them grow. When I think of my kids when they were younger, sometimes people say, "How old is your son?" I'll have to think and say, "Look, he's no more that little boy that he used to do. He's 16 now." The time just really went fast. And all of them give me that joy. My wife and my 3 kids, and I thank God for all of them. And this is me saying, I love you all. God bless you always. Thank
Fantastic. You. It's been almost an hour of pure pleasure, value, getting to meet Dozier, getting to know Dozier, getting to understand his leadership skills, getting to understand that he's still available for leadership. USOSA, future PG in the house. We're always, as usual, grateful for the audience listening to us. Like Chioma said, at the bottom of the screen, you will see our social media handles scrolling through. We're going to throw Dozier a challenge. Once this podcast is edited, we're going to forward it to him, and we're going to ask him to tell his members to view it, like it, subscribe to the channel. This will enable us grow into the planned and projected trajectory that we hope to take the Pro Unitate podcast. Thank you for your time. It's USOSA Online, TNN Online, thenewnigerian.com. We're grateful for your time. Chioma?
Yes, from me, thank you. And let's keep doing things that make us better together. Already we're better together, but make sure that every act, every word, every action keeps us to being better together. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, Chioma and David. Great job you're doing with the Pro Unitate podcast show. And to know that this is pro bono, that's mind-blowing. So thank you very much, and keep it up, and God bless you.
Take care, guys. Bye for now.
All right, bye for now.